All right. We're testing out this microphone setup. See how our volume's coming through. See how much of this sound is being picked up in the peripheral. This is a semifinal match. Got 4 teams left on the winner side and 2 teams waiting to play on the loser side. And we're just trying to dial in what exactly the sound quality is so we can start commentating. All right, looks like we got another one on Vic's side, Dave and Vic's team. I was going to look at the bracket real quick and kind of see how um, they've been doing. Both teams have been doing actually through the tournament to this point. I mean, obviously being a handicapped and tournament, you'll see a lot of close matches. I see Dave came through Roy and Jose, pretty close one, 9-7. And both of those teams were pretty strong. They had kind of cruised through the 2 teams they played prior to that, 9-2s and 9-3s. Vic's up to break. Looks like he got a ball, 2 balls, and he's got great shape on the one. Dave's going to have to do a little bit of work here to get one to the 2. Let's see what he fancies here. Hard to tell. He doesn't have a lot of angles, so it looks like he's going forward, though. Oh, he got all of that. Ooh, that was very close. Great shot by Dave. He really worked the cue ball. Got about everything he could out of that. Cheated the pocket to the max as well. This rack is far from being done. As Vic's a little bit tree-topped, I'd say. I think he's a righty, so that's going to hinder the bridge a little bit. Looks like he get his cue through there. Looks like he's going top as well. He spun it back. And if Vic was tree-topped, then Dave's definitely shooting from the roofs. I think the issue here on this shot is the fact that he's going to be having a tough time holding a line to go 3 rails, you know, come back up. So I think he's probably, and since he can't get access to the bottom of the ball, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think he just kind of went with a safe, control the object ball, get it down to the end rail. That's probably the smart choice as opposed to trying to play something that would take a small miracle to accomplish. Here's Paul DeLuna up. Oh, it was a great touch shot. It's unfortunate he's just not going to get the rollout on the 6th ball he was looking for, but it was quite the shot just to get that to pocket. A lot of touch involved. See what JOYCE decides. Here's Joyce Robinson. she wants to take on this bank or if she just wants to kind of feather this and play it to the center of the short rail. We're going to find out here. She's never quite been shy about taking on a shot, so I don't mind that shot too bad. I mean, given the speed, you have a lot of pretty high percentage to leave the cue ball way up table to leave that 6 ball somewhere on that short rail. It pockets that nicely. Didn't do a bunch with the cue ball here, just kind of let the cue ball come down table in hopes that it can kind of find a place for this 8 to go. That was great. Nobody wants to have to take a 8-9 combo knowing that they're probably going to sell the farm if they don't make it. A little bit of the yard line here. I think he's got it up table in that top left. But then you do have to worry about that cue ball. Oh, it swallowed it. Banked it in there. Looks like this one's going to be another one for Mr. Schneider and VIC. Just browsing around. It looks like on the other table we got Eddie and Adam playing against Bob Danielson and Paul Schweigert. From here, it looks like 1-1. I can see the score. I don't quite have like a multi-monitor setup, so it's not quite as easy to just have all that stuff up. I'm actually on site right now, and I'll probably drop out of here sometime for the end of this match because I play the B side. I play the loser of this. As I was saying, me and Simon play the loser of this match right here. So we'll pop out probably a couple games before the end so I can get a little bit warmed up. Oh, Paul's getting some work done here. This is a touchy shot here. It really, I don't know. I mean, it really takes a good stroke here to be able to drive that ball down the rail without getting in that pocket. Looks like she tried to cheat it and it just wasn't meant to be with fears of getting into the drink there, which I guess if you are going to miss that ball, you definitely do not want to scratch. You'd rather miss it than scratch and make it. So So as far as Fargos go in general, I believe Mr. Schneider here is about somewhere in the 560 range, and his partner Vic is somewhere in I'd say maybe 510 or 520. And these are just estimates. They're in these zones. All for the other team is a six. I hope I said 660 for Dave Schneider. Paul's a 627, I think he was. And Joyce is probably a high 400s, maybe even sometimes hits the 500 mark. So I'd say 470 to 500, somewhere in that margin. So all players are capable, but there is definitely two people that are noticeably favorites as far as teammates go. And I don't know how much that plays into if you know who's playing next, whether you play safe, and hope to get ball in hand off the lesser. But I mean, I definitely know that I think about it sometimes. For instance, here, if they hadn't shot before, you're definitely sending Paul DeLuna up to the table, not Joyce, right? I mean, that's like kind of a common decision. Not that Joyce isn't capable, but Paul DeLuna would have that higher percentage of being able to finesse this in. And this is 7 foot table, a 9 foot shot is not anything you want to dream about, right? So Dave Schneider's coming up. I gotta imagine he'll fancy this thin back cut. I think they may have just got away with one there with that dogged ball not laying up quite as nice as one would have expected it to. Joyce ain't happy about it. Not quite sure. Given Fargo's, I guess maybe they were just under getting a game. I think the way this works is 75 points get you a game, and they must have been a little bit over the mark. I know Vic and Dave are nearly Fargo capped for this tournament. I think they're probably within 5 Fargo points of the Fargo cap. Tough shot, tough miss. Um, Dave's up to the table to try to get things straightened out. So for the run out, he's gonna have to bring this thing either over and back or around the corner. Elects to send it down the rail nice and slow and clear the 8, which sets up pretty nicely. Not a whole lot of shape shots left to play, just maybe from the 8 to the 9. Try to come in on the angle. All right, he's left Dave a bit straight here. I mean, he's gonna have to punch out of this one with some jacked up. Left him a bit on the 50-yard line. I put Vic a favorite to make this shot, but He did have that hiccup on the last nine and could be on his mind. He gets it done though. As long as the cue ball doesn't got too much speed on it. It looks like Dick and Dave are running away with this one a little bit. On the other table, I think it's a 2-1. We'll say this is a little bit speedier of the two groups as far as pace of play. In my personal opinion, I feel like Vic and Dave would probably be favorites alongside of uh, Bob Danielson and Paul. Bob Danielson and Paul are probably about as high a Fargo as you can have evenly split between two guys. So I believe that's probably the strongest way to build a team realistically is to have, especially at this Fargo cap, is to have the two players to be as evenly capable as possible. All right, looks like this was wide open. Little shape shot, depending on where he gets him for the five. There's a little bit of a shape shot to be played here between the five and the six. You really want to park that kind of deep in there so that you don't have to come up and down the table, slow roll something in. So Vic's gonna have to hit this little baby, little center ball here, punch it over. Get that perfectly. I don't think being jacked up either would have been a problem. Vic's got to just get him off, or Dave's got to just get him off the rail here. Doesn't want to leave him. Looks like he's going to spin out of this. If he's using top here, he might try to spin out and try to get up to the diamond up or something. Yeah, there you go. That's perfect. Dave plays pretty exact as far as what the play should be. Whether he gets there all the time, I mean, what we do in our heads versus what we do on the table. But more often than not, he gets there, and at least the intent is pretty textbook. He's got a great angle here to come across. Puts him in line, even gets a small bump to get him off from being jacked up on the rail. Great shape. Vic's able to roll that in. All right, so we're 6-0 here. Bit of a blowout. We're going to need to see, Joyce and Paul put a rack together, try to, save some face here and maybe put a little pressure on Vic and Dave to close out. You know, these men. All right, it dropped out there for a second. What I was saying was, is these games start to feel like closeout games. You get up 7-0 and, you know, the closeout team can pretty much free stroke their way out knowing that they got games to give up. And so important you get that one on the board and something you can build on. All right, Joyce is up here. She's got to pull this one back just a hair and give Paul a shot on the 5. Come off the rail. The internet's struggling a bit here, it looks like. Sometimes you're getting little freezes, but this is holding up. So Paul's got a little bit of a challenge here. It looks like he's going to try to round the corner. He doesn't have a lot of angle to work with. So it's a very touchy shot. Or he may try to go top. And I guess that would be the 2 shots, right? You go top, take it into this rail here with a little bit of inside spin, and it kind of spins out like this. Or you can try to round it. Yeah, he did well. He shot that very well. This is she just kind of needs to stun over. Bring the cue ball kind of into this area for Paul. She got a little more than she wanted, but I think Paul take it. It might even be better from here because now Paul doesn't got to work the cue ball too much. She just got to kind of get into the rail maybe a little bit, or even roll it up. I don't know that you want to roll it that far, but we're talking about inches here, not feet. So we'll see how much this 6-0 score is in Joyce's head. With she dunks it. That's great. They're on the board. I can't tell who's winning over there. I can maybe look on the other stream, but it looks like it's 4-1 on the other table. Let's go have a look at the other stream. Just pop in. Okay, it looks like Eddie and Adam are up pretty big on Bob and Paul, or sorry, Paul and Swigert and Bob Danielson. A little bit of a surprise. Adam's must be playing pretty good. I know Eddie shoots a pretty good stick. I don't have a ton of experience with Adam. He doesn't come out a ton, but for the most part, everybody who's left in the tournament is fairly local. I think a couple Walla Walla people, I think, is what's left in. I think Roy, Jose, and Paul Schwagert, I believe, are all from Walla Walla. All right. Here's some banter going on from that table. It looks pretty lighthearted over there. For a second there, I thought my screen freezed up, but just Vic making a decision on this one ball. I can see what he's looking at. I mean, it looks like you're gonna have to work this cue ball 3 rails. If you do intend on trying to pocket it, you're gonna need to come down into here or something to this extent to even try to have a look at a dunks it, and he peeks out for a look. So, I mean, all Fargo's considered. He just did his job, and now it's time for Dave to try to get back in a little bit more line here. Well, he missed that ball. Might be the first miss he's had all set so far. So one might say he was due, but you don't usually miss those balls, that's for sure. Ball's up. Looks like he was eyeballing that side pocket for JOYCE. I don't know if he would prefer a heavy inside ball to get that, or if he would actually try to run this one with a little bit of kill, do something. I think it'd be pretty hard to hold it with the outside, so he's probably going inside with this one, which isn't necessarily an easy shot given the harder you drive that ball, the more that ball wants to kind of kick off to the right and it starts to fight you. So he hit it pretty good, all things considered. He would have preferred it somewhere up in here to give JOYCE a better there's a little draw, get this thing. Looks like she'll take it into the he'll take it into the side. This is a little bit of another touch shot, right? Maybe he's gonna try to come in. Does he try to use complicated with inside and then try to kill the speed using the inside? We're gonna see. Kind of hard to tell with the shadows and the angle whether it's like this is just an easy. Okay, he committed to it. She's going side. If she's going side, she's gonna need to probably come do something to this extent, or really commit to the spin and draw, and you could round it to produce some angles like this. But we'll see. She's got an outside ball, which is a start. Hard to tell. It looks like she has plenty of angle. Sometimes people can get in a habit of overshooting these kind of shots. She just chose one rail, kept it simple. All right, nice pocket by Paul. They got two on the board now. They're starting to make moves. Maybe make this set a little more interesting. They get one more, and Dave and Vic will really start to feel them coming. Might be some more missed balls in the future. All right, Paul set up on this one pretty nicely. I would guess he would go. Don't quite see what he's doing here. I think I like it the other way. That's a tough way to get shape crossing that line like that. I think I like it spun off the rail, something like this. I feel like it maybe give you a little bit more margin for error, but hard to tell exactly how that ball was sitting. If maybe he was worried about getting into the point or something. So Joyce is going to probably have to go for some kind of containment safe here because I don't know that it's really worth trying to spike this one, but we'll see. May go for it. Oh, she got her off the 7. Maybe a fortunate roll there. Um, Paul's going to have this one probably in the side, I would guess. I don't think it goes all the way down. Um, Shape's hard to come by because you're going to get into this traffic down here, or you may try to draw out of it and avoid the traffic. Oh, yeah, maybe it did go. He didn't make it, but he must have thought it went. All right, Vic's gonna have to take him out of this shape wise because you're gonna want. I mean, you could settle for somewhere down on the slower side, but then it kind of makes a lot of work, on depending on your angle. But this is where you get consider Fargos in these equations when you start thinking, hey, maybe I just stay within myself, my high percentage shots, and I make Dave maybe work a little harder, right? And I think that's a smart play. Let your thoroughbred, for lack of a better word, um, play the big position shots. I think that's smart, high percentage pool. It's a tough little angle. It doesn't look like it, he's going to have to get a love tap. He hit it perfect. And he even got a little bit of angle to get Vic back down table. This one you're going to have to dig a little bit in because you're going to have to hit this long rail in some way, shape, or form unless he plans on just coming back with a straight draw ball. But that's what he did. I think in order to really get perfect shape, you'd have probably had to come up like this and out. But he kept it real simple and just kind of brought it up here, and he didn't hit it too fast where you could bring the scratch into play. So that was probably fun. It's good high percentage pool. Play into his team's strengths, I'd say. Gonna be a nice little run out, all things considered. See if he goes out around it. That's great. I feel like that rack kind of encompassed what Scotch pool is about as far as playing to your team's strengths in Fargo. Vic hit all of his shots. He kept them easy enough and manageable enough, and hit them very well. And more or less let Dave work the cue ball when it was necessary. He did have that nice shot coming back down the rail, which was very nice. All right, Paul's up. He's going to round the corner here to come out for the 5. Looks like a pretty natural little roller. He'll put a little inside on it to kind of get that angle, or sorry, outside, kind of get that angle, I'd imagine. Yeah, got that outside takes. Comes in perfect. That wide angle kind of let your opponent either stun over to the rail, or if you can really put a stroke on it, you kind of use the rail as your speed control. After this game, I'll probably jump off of here. As like I had said previously, I play the loser of this set, and I want to get a couple of warm up games in myself. I'll get you guys back to your regular scheduled music that everybody loves so much on these streams. Too bad there's like can't be a subscribed like basic like playlist, easy listening country music where you get some people that'll partner up with maybe down the road there will be partner up with Spotify or something where there's some kind of oh Joyce or partner up with somebody and you can listen to some basic tunes. It's not horrible, but I definitely mute it after some time or play it in the background. I'm gonna put this rack a little bit in the books. Probably go hit a few balls. We'll see if he gets out real quick. Probably not broadcast or commentate once I'm out. I imagine that it'll be probably nonstop play until I lose or the tournament's over. So that'll determine whether I am able to come back here and commentate. Been trying to get a couple of the other guys to jump on here, but they're still a little gun shy. And then you got Augie Gonzalez. He's probably still in bed. So we'll see, though. I'll have the laptop set up for him. We'll see if anybody wants to jump on here and commentate. Was a good out. Led to by Joyce's scratching the side. All right, back to your regular scheduled music.